Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. Paul Rodgers' voice is a new obsession of mine. I've only recently heard him in Bad Company, and I was really taken in by his bluesy rock tone, by his immaculate phrasing, and super juicy enunciation. So I want to hear more of him, and today we're going to check out his other band, Free, plus we're going to analyze what he looks like, how he supports his voice in a live performance. Let's get to it. That was cool.
She stood in the street, smiling from my head to her feet. I said, hey, what is this, oh, baby? Maybe she's in need of a kiss. I said, hey, what's your name, baby? Maybe we can see things. Now don't you wait, or hesitate. Let's move before they raise the pocket rate.
This is awesome to see. I was so torn between doing the studio version of this and a live performance. I was warned that the audio might be a little bit muddy in the live performance, and I said, hey, if it's just a tiny bit muddy, we can do this. And I'm so glad that I decided to do the live version here. It's not as clear as a live performance today would be, but this is, I think, from the 70s, right? Doing their thing, 1970. This is really good quality for the 70s. We're missing a little bit, but the fact that we get to see him perform, see how he's adjusting his face and adjusting his body while singing is super awesome. Plus, there was this cool thing I saw with the guitarist at the beginning, and it really drew my attention to how he was stopping the sound. I loved that. Okay, back to the beginning. Y'all look so dapper. Right there. I love seeing the way he pulled back and suddenly shut off all of the sound there. It feels similar to how you can shut sound off on different percussive instruments as well. Essentially just go and give us a sudden absence of sound that makes the next sound have a bigger impact. I like the way you can see in his body when that happens. Right there. That's cool. That's something I don't know if I would have appreciated as much without actually seeing it in a live performance.
She stood in the street, smiling from my head to her feet. I said, hey, what is this, oh, baby? Maybe she's in need of a kiss. I said, hey, what's your name, baby? Maybe we can see things the same.
I feel like I have the same expression as the drummer here. Just this big grin of oh yeah. Paul Rodgers is having so much fun with that vocal expression. He's telling a story. He's got it in the hands, in the body language, and even more in how it is flowing. Essentially, his larynx is a conduit for emotion right now. It's so delightful. One of the things I was thinking about too, looking at this live performance setup, is how a lot of singers, especially from this era, would take the mic stands and walk forward with the mic and then sing down into the mic. And that always concerns me when a singer's going to take the mic, and if they're going to sing down into it, I get a little worried because I don't want to see that notch where they're essentially shutting off the front part of the throat. It creates a kink essentially in that line of airflow and sound development, which we don't like to have. But the way he's done it here, it's almost I wonder if mathematically the arc as it's tilting over reaches a sweet spot at this particular angle that is very similar to when it's just standing straight up. I'm not sure. I'd need to calculate that. Thank you. Please be some math nerds out there for me. But ultimately, where he's at right now with the microphone and where his head position is at is totally wonderful. the position gives him still that straight, nice line in the neck. He's not sort of crinkling any of his body to deny full breath support. So this standing out in front of the mic and bending it over really works actually for his vocal posture.
She stood in the street.
It's a tiny tilt, but it's still straight.
I said, hey, what is this, baby? Baby, she's in need of a kiss. I said, hey, what's your name, baby? Maybe we can see things the same. Now don't you wait, or hesitate. Let's move before they raise the pocket, baby.
I love the way he just wails in that section. He's frequently adding that grit in there and hopping over a break. So it ends up sounding crunchy, really crunchy, like a chickpea puff crunchy, which is also a new obsession of mine. Oh my gosh, those nacho cheese flavored chick puff I know it sounded gross at first, but basically I feel like they're healthy Cheetos, so I don't feel so bad about eating them anymore. Anyhow, crunchy, there's like air pockets essentially between various parts of his sound, both from the distortion creating some little pockets of air and from breaks in his registers in there. Super crunchy.
Hey, what's your name, baby? Maybe we can see things the same. Now don't you wait, or hesitate. Let's move before they raise the pocket, baby. All right now, baby, it's all right now. All right now, baby, it's all right now.
Love this, the way he hangs out just under a pitch. That's part of what makes his entire performance so bluesy. A lot of times he was just hanging out a little, like approaching it as if it was a tiny bit flat. And so intentional. It's very bold styling. That's what makes him really a blues rock singer, right?
Right now, baby, it's all right now.
Coming up.
Now wait a minute.
Oh, I was back further. I'm sorry, we're back again.
All right now, baby,
There.
it's all right
On
now.
Baby is where it's most evident.
Now wait a minute.
What was that cute dance move? He like goes forward. Okay, so I have to say from yoga that when you squat and you pop your heels up, it's kind of hard to balance, but it is nice to have a third leg essentially as a mic stand to make sure you don't fall over on your audience. / have people fallen over doing this kind of thing before? I feel like that wouldn't be that unusual.
One thing, I took her home to my place. Watching every move out her face.
God, I love
She said,
that too.
look, man, what's your game? Are you trying to put me in shame? I said, slow, baby. Don't go so fast. Don't you think that love can last? She said, love, love above. Now you're trying to trick me in love.
Wow. Very interesting how much more distortion he has in his sound here than he did in Bad Company. Very, very big difference there. But also, he has fantastic rhythm, and he's doing some very noteworthy things with cutting off certain phrases or certain notes early to accent a word. Oh, additionally, we'll go back first and talk about that cutoff that I was hearing in a couple spots, but I'm going to have one more thing after that. We might have to listen to this section a couple times, which is totally fine because we love it.
Oh, baby, don't go so fast. Don't you think that love
No, I think it's back further.
your game? Are you trying to put me in shame? I said, slow, baby, don't go so fast.
One of the spots was in Baby. The way he could have made the ending E of Baby much longer, but chose not to. It was slow down, baby. And it was really quick stop right afterwards. makes you take a pause similar to what he's saying in the slowdown. And I'm going to go back a little bit further again because I think there was still a spot really early in this.
One day I took her home to my place, watching.
There it is. Watching every. I like the way on what he stops the sound again early, gives it this emphasis, gives a little extra uplift there. It's almost like pop it. For some reason, I'm thinking about Legally Blonde. Maybe it's all of the fine dance moves here, but that whole pop it moment in Legally Blonde, yeah, that's what he just vocally did. He popped it.
Home to my place, watching every move by her bed.
That's
She
nice.
said, look, man,
Look,
what's
man.
your game? Are you trying to
And right there, the way he really elongated the last word, was it what you mean, I think? Mean? I think it was. Or what's your game? That's what it was.
what's your game?
Oh man, he goes into the E part of that diphthong so hard. Game. He elongates that so much, which then creates a huge contrast between all these other spots where he's making it much, much shorter. All of this contributes to the storytelling element. I don't know that he thinks about each one of these spots specifically as, oh, I'm going to do that. If he analyzes it to that very fine detail level, or if this is just how he naturally is going to express a story and he lets himself run free and wild. There might be tons of intuition in here. There might be tons of planning. Not sure, but we can definitely take a step as listeners to understanding how he's done this all by analyzing at this really fine detail level. And I love that. It helps us appreciate, I think, so much more about music. So that's all to say, it combines to be an incredible story. Reminds me of artists like Jim Croce that you go to hear them because you want to have a story told. This story has surprisingly few lyrics. When I read through them, I was like, whoa, that seems pretty short. But there is so much being told in them because of how much vocal expression he is loading in. It's like a lot.
She said, look, man, what's your game? Are you trying to put me in shame? I said, slow, baby.
Slow, baby.
Don't go so fast. Don't you think that love can last? She said, love, load above.
That expression had so much sass in it, and I think that the woman in this story is just a total rock star. Love, so much sass. Man, what a strong woman. I like this person.
She said, love, load above. Now you're trying to trick me in love. All right now, baby, it's all right now. All right now.
You can go smooth or gravelly.
All right now. I know. Oh, yeah.
This is cool. I wonder if they have this much freedom within the instrumental solos in the original. I know that this one is a little bit longer, so I just want to say it's cool to get a little more solos here. And it's one of the great things about live music. You tend to have a little more focus on the instruments, which I very much adore and think is worthwhile.
Baby, it's all right now. All right now, baby. All right now. I know.
So this is Paul Kossoff, I think. I like that super fast wide vibrato on that. That was fun. I have to, if I'm going to recreate that vocally, I have to jiggle to make it out. Like, I don't know if I could just try and say vibrato, go that fast in my in my nervous system. It's fast. And now we have some bass guitar, Andy Fraser? I think this is the love-making part. There's ooze in the background. Okay, Paul Rodgers has crazy loose hips. I swear he was humping the microphone there at one point. But he also, whenever he's doing any sort of movements on stage, even though they seem like crazy movements, I've noticed he still has a lot of grounding. Again, calling back to some yoga. That kind of grounding, no matter what position you're in, is one of the things that I think sets apart professional singers and aspiring professional. If you are a professional that's been doing it for a really, really long time, you know that you need to keep your support super grounded. And having that center is going to make it so you can sing for a long time. Well, one of the things that contributes to singing for a long time. So I just wanted to point out, whenever I see him moving here, just notice, like, even if it's kind of wiggly looking, he still seems like he has a strong center. Even if he's humping the mic, strong center. I love Dude's face while he's playing the guitar. Paul's, yeah. Those two have some really good communication back and forth. I'm imagining this subtext while we have Simon Kirke just whacking at the drums, right? I'm imagining this idea of, like, have I sprayed everybody with the sweat flinging off of my hair yet? If not, there must be somebody else that deserves a little bit of food. Food! As if I didn't already have enough amazing food similes. Thank you.
Those are Wagyu sliders.
Wagyu sliders, and we're going to talk about how Wagyu sliders are, actually I already have a good comparison for how these are like Paul Rodgers' voice. I was thinking about a steak-related thing earlier, so we're going to talk about that. Also, I don't know what this is, but cheers all to good food and good music. May they often be enjoyed together. Oh, and may you stay clean while you do it. Can we go back just a little bit? Thank you. Hair, spray, sweat everywhere. Yeah, he's got some good balance. Look at that smile while he's singing. He has such a good smile inside while he's singing. You can hear that. There are muscles that are on the exterior part of your face, obviously, but also interior muscles that respond to his smile. And that causes the sound to get marinated in a different way, similar to steaks, how they can be marinated in so many different sauces. So his vocal sauce has got some smile marination going on. It's really important. If you want to sound happy, try smiling. People can hear that in a recording. there's something that I just cut off as he was getting into it that sounded like it was going to be fabulous. I feel a little bit bad, but not too bad because we're going to go back and catch it. But all of that is to point out that these lyrics all right now grabbed me from the get-go. I can't believe I've taken this long to get to them. But there are so many other vocal points I had to talk about first. All right now. The title is 3 different words. It's all right now. Probably meaning he's like, got to get laid at this moment, right? Patience. But the other thing, when I just hear it, is like everything's okay now. And I saw somewhere there was somebody saying it was like essentially about a man who'd just gotten out of a breakup. I was like, I'm gonna go get my yayas out or something there. And the idea of there being this inner struggle that's associated with, hey, we're like, it's really not all right, but I'm gonna go do something that helps me maybe forget this. It adds so much complexity to the character, which brings me to one of the reasons the storytelling in this is incredible. And that's because each of the characters he portrays, both the man and the woman, they are detailed. There are so many layers. They're like juicy characters, like delicious steak. Once again, coming back to it. Anyhow, these characters feel like they have a life of their own. And often people, when they're singing, just try to sing about the specific thing that's in the words. I think that when that happens, the performance often feels kind of 2D. It's missing something. It doesn't have the subtext underneath. So one of the things that I'll do with singers often to help lift up a performance is say, if it's characters in the song, if it's just words that they aren't relating to enough, I say, go journal about this, go give me an entire life, an entire story behind these few words that you can communicate on stage. And the moment they do that, every single person that's listening to them suddenly says, wow, it was so alive. We don't know what you did, but that song meant so much more to me. I think he has this entire idea about the lives behind the 2 people in this song, and it's incredible. It adds so many layers. We're so happy together.
It's all right. All right, it's all right, it's all right. Baby, it's all right now. All right.
Wow. He straight up like used the break to enter his sound there. That was gutsy. One more time. Oh man. Oh, so gutsy. Again?
I said, baby, it's all right.
One of my greatest wishes for all of you is that you will find a partner who cooks for you like Kirk cooks for me, because getting a bite of that Wagyu steak slider right after hearing Paul's final phrase here, there is something beautiful in that pairing. They both had this bite into them, this shocking deliciousness. There was like some sort of secret sauce in there, right? I could make food and music comparisons all day long. In fact, I've done that in quite a few videos. If you want to check out a playlist that includes lots of food music comparisons, check that out over here, and may you fall more in love with music every day.